What is up, guys? Welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to be talking about Anthem. Now, what's Anthem? I mean, just for all of you that have been living under a rock, what is it?
It's a really beautiful game that EA, they showed like 3 seconds of it at their conference, and then Microsoft the next day showed quite a bit, 7, 8 minutes?
Yeah, definitely 7 to 8 solid minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be sort of talking about what does it have to be, what do they have to do to make that game successful? And I'm really interested to hear what you had to say. Like, what do you think needs to be done to keep that game from just sort of, not tanking, because I know people are going to buy it, but just not living up to the hype, such as Titanfall 2. I mean, that game, great, reviewed, awesome, but it just didn't sell as well. So what do they have to do to sort of make it interesting and make people buy it?
So the good news for Anthem is I don't think it's coming out this year, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So while it's going to be compared to Destiny 2, obviously it looks, there's a lot of similarities between the two. They won't have to worry about competing at the same time, or probably be at least a year, at least 6 months in the difference in launches. The game has to find a way to keep players coming back every single day. Like with Destiny, you've got the daily resets and then you have the weekly resets and everything, and people want to they want to grind out these raids to get the gear that they want and have the best of everything. And I don't know how similar Anthem will end up actually being to Destiny, like if they've got raids or what, but if they do, then they're going to have something that keeps people wanting to come back and work towards getting whatever gear they want.
Okay. So for me, I think it's going to be sort of a mixture of the social aspect, and I left a comment on one of our videos recently talking about this, but I think the reason Destiny was so popular is because of the social aspect of it. And the reason why that worked is because the story wasn't super in-depth. Now, with Anthem, I think they're going to run into an issue because what happened is Bioware is developing this, right?
Yeah, it's Bioware.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. It's late. I didn't know. I thought it was, but so the problem is the people that are working on writing the story for this game wrote Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. So those games are very story driven. So I'm worried that you're gonna have this problem where you have a super like just a shooter and it's gonna be really good combat, but it's supposed to be played with friends.
Yeah.
So I'm worried, personally, I didn't really pay too much attention to Destiny's story. I was just more concerned with hopping in with you guys and just playing it, just having fun, hanging out. It's a very loose story, and I'm afraid that they're gonna try to make too much of an in-depth story, like to where you need to play it by yourself to really follow the story because when you're playing with your friends, like 3 or 4 friends, it's impossible for some, you can't just say shut the hell up. I'm trying to watch, listen to the story and follow what happens. So I think that's a major problem, and I'm really interested to see how they approach it, because for me, I'm not looking for a super duper in-depth story from Anthem. I'm looking for gameplay.
Yeah.
And like you said, just coming back and grinding out and getting gear and increasing my light level, that kind of stuff. That's really what Destiny was good for, in my opinion.
Like Destiny, like you said, it wasn't real story driven to start with the Taken King and then the Rise of Iron.
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
It definitely, the story driven, there was more story driven elements to it, and I think Destiny 2 you're going to see a lot more of that. Okay. And the reason why when Destiny launched, it was a beta. Like that game was a beta. You paid $60 to play the beta basically. And when the Taken King came out, that's when the game was actually what I think it was meant to be.
Okay.
And I think, with the Grimoire cards and stuff like that, that's not going to be in Destiny 2, they've already said. So that right there tells me that this game will be story driven.
Okay. Do you think Anthem will be, or Destiny 2?
I think Destiny 2 will be. But the social experience for Destiny, where that comes in, is the raids and the strikes, because that to me is when you were working with your friends and your team to figure out a way to get through these trials that you're going through, and that's what makes Destiny so great. And that's what Anthem has to find a way to capture.
Yeah, and I hope that it's not just a ripoff of Destiny. I hope that because it's sort of like, from what I've seen, you have different types of suits, which reminds me of Titanfall 2. Or not Titanfall 2, but just Titanfall. You have different kinds of suits, different kind of mechs that come down. Yeah. But I'm seeing some of that, and just it looks super fluent. I mean, I think the combat itself will look awesome. It's going to play well. So I'm just curious to see. I'm still sticking to my guns. I really hope it's not too story driven. I'm really looking for a game that just sort of focuses on gameplay and just I can hop on with my friends, do raid style stuff, whatever it may be. And just keeps me sort of interested that way instead of just a super deep story.
I wonder with it showed you being able to fly, and then it showed you being able to go in underwater and stuff. That's a lot. So I just wonder, how much actual content will be in the game. If it'll kind of be empty because they focus so much on.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to hit it the same sort of strategy Destiny did, which was drop the story stuff later in DLC. Yeah. And just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see with more information coming out later on. Obviously the stuff will leak, and that's just how things work. So we'll have to see, I guess, in the future.
Super pretty game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks awesome.
Great on Xbox One X.
Yeah, and I don't really have anything else to say. I'm just hoping that it just captures that social aspect. Yeah. I hope it's better than Destiny, personally. For me, I hope it is.
I was talking to a guy that was commenting on my video from yesterday about this. Games One Master UK or Games Master One UK. If you're watching, what's up? But he was basically saying, he was going to buy Destiny 2 for the Xbox One X, and then when Anthem was announced, he's basically said that Bungie can jump off a bridge or whatever. That's how I took it. And I don't know, man. Destiny has proven its worth to me.
Absolutely.
The launch
you can't take that away.
Yeah, the launch was rough, but I think Destiny 2, the sequel in every series is always the best, I feel like.
Okay.
And I mean, even in 3-game series, I always feel like number 2 is better.
Really?
Yeah, I always feel that way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've talked about it long enough. I'm really interested to see what any of you guys say. We actually got a ton of comments on the one that you did about Anthem and Destiny, so I'm sure this is something people have an opinion about. Yeah. So we'd love to hear that below and talk and chat with you about it. But if you don't want to, that's fine. We'll be uploading more content later on this week. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. Yeah. Otherwise, have a great day and take care.
Peace out.